What's up guys, Josh Blunt here and welcome to my channel where I break down everything you need to know about exercise and nutrition for beginners and more. I'm here to bring you the simple truth tailored to your individual goals. Now I get a lot of questions regarding which protein powder you should be taking. Should I be taking a whey protein powder or should I be taking a plant-based protein powder? Both of these are going to be very popular and very common. Now both of these protein powders are going to have their strengths and they're going to have their weaknesses. And that's exactly what we're going to cover in this video today. I personally believe that you should be getting the majority of your protein from whole foods, whether that's fish, meat, chicken, eggs, beans, nuts, etc., etc. But I do understand that it's very difficult to get all of the protein that you need in a single day, whether that's 100 grams, 150 grams, or 200 grams of protein from just whole foods. They are filling. When you add in the carbs and the fats, it's hard to get all of the protein that you need in a single day just from whole foods. And that's where protein powders come into play. They are supplements. So if you need an additional 50 grams or 30 grams of protein, it's very easy to throw back a protein shake and get exactly what you need. Now, protein powders are going to be some of the best and safest supplements that you can take. They are highly researched and highly effective, but you still want to make sure that you're getting the right kind, tailored to your individual goals and your lifestyle. And that's exactly what I'm going to be breaking down in this video today. What are the pros and the cons of both whey protein powders and plant-based protein powders, and then you can decide for yourself. Let's dive in. Alright, so essentially when you're looking into different protein powders, what you're really looking into is what type of amino acid these protein powders have, and if your body can effectively digest these amino acids. You also want to pay attention to how many grams of protein does it have per serving, because obviously you want it to be the most effective and get the most out of your money. And when you have a low protein ratio to serving size, that means there's more fillers and more additives and you're getting less actual protein. And there's going to be certain proteins or amino acids that are better for fat loss or building muscle or reducing inflammation in the body and so on. And that's why it's important to know what you're after to make sure that you get the right protein that's tailored to your goals and your preferences. So let's break down these proteins and then hopefully that's going to help you to make a decision. Alright, so many of you might know this, but whey protein actually comes from milk. So if you have any kind of dairy allergy or an intolerance, or maybe if you're vegan, then whey protein isn't going to be the one for you. But regardless of that, whey protein has been heavily researched and it's a great supplement if you need some extra protein in your diet. Another thing to keep in mind is that whey protein is considered a complete protein, meaning it has the 9 essential amino acids that your body cannot produce itself. And these amino acids are going to be crucial to help build muscle and to help with fat loss. And if your body does not have these amino acids, then you're going to be missing some of the building blocks that help with building and repairing muscle. And whey protein is also going to be lower in calories. So not only does it help to build muscle, but it also supports fat loss as well. So what exactly should we be looking for if we're choosing to go the whey protein route? Number one, make sure that you check the amino acid profile label that's going to be on the container or the bag or whatever you're getting to make sure that it has the 9 essential amino acids. Number two, you want to check the protein ratio per serving size. Now this might be different for other proteins, but as an example, if one serving size is 30 grams and you're getting 15 to 20 grams of protein, that means over 30% of that serving is other ingredients that's not protein. So if your serving size is 30 grams, which a lot of them are, then a better quality protein is going to have somewhere around 25 grams of protein per serving. This is going to be 80% or more of pure protein. Now, if you're choosing to go with whey protein, you're going to run into a couple more options. You're going to have whey protein concentrate and whey protein isolate. Now, these are going to be two of the more popular choices. Whey protein concentrate is going to be a little bit cheaper, but it could be anywhere between 30 to 80% pure protein. Now, if it's on that 80% mark, then you're good to go. But if it's anything lower than that 80%, then you might be wasting your time and your money. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that whey concentrate is going to have more lactose than whey isolate. So if you do have some sort of intolerances or allergies, then it might be better to go with whey protein isolate instead of the concentrate. There's also blends out there of like a whey protein isolate and concentrate that you could look into. That's not going to be a bad option either. Now, whey isolate, on the other hand, is going to be a little bit more expensive, but it's going to be 90% pure protein, so it's going to be a better quality as well. It's also going to contain less than 1% lactose, which is good for anybody with intolerances. And to be honest, that's the only real negative that I personally see with whey protein is digesting it. Since it is going to have some dairy and sometimes even some soy, some people might feel bloated or uncomfortable. Again, if you're vegan, this is obviously not the option for you. And like I said in the beginning of the video, if you're looking into other complete proteins that have the 9 essential amino acids, that's not a protein powder, that's going to be like fish and meat and chicken and eggs and things like that if you're not vegan, obviously. But if you can't get all of your protein needs with the whole foods, then adding in a whey protein source, whether it's a whey concentrate or a whey isolate, is definitely going to be a good option. So with that being said, whey protein is going to be a complete protein source, which is actually why it's so popular, because it's going to have the 9 essential amino acids that your body needs to repair and build muscle. If you're going to go for a whey protein concentrate, it's going to be a little bit cheaper, but it's going to be anywhere from 30 to 80% pure protein. So make sure you always check the amino acid profile label and how many grams of protein per serving, just to be safe. If you want a higher quality protein, go for whey protein isolate, which is guaranteed to be 90% pure protein. It's also going to be less in lactose. It's going to be less than 1% lactose for anybody with intolerances. All right, now for anyone who is interested in a plant-based protein powder, or if you should use them, let's talk the pros and cons. All right, so there's always going to be a lot of debate that whey protein powder is better than plant-based and plant-based is better than whey, and part of this debate comes from the fact that there are very few plant-based proteins that are going to be complete proteins. They're going to have all the 9 essential amino acids that your body needs to build muscle and to repair muscle. Another part of this debate comes from the fact that plant-based proteins are going to be better for the environment, so I'll leave that part up to you. Now, even though the majority of plant-based sources are not going to be complete proteins, when it comes to plant-based protein powders, there are blends that will have all the 9 essential amino acids. You have 2 plant-based protein sources, powder form, that are blended together. One of them might be missing 1 essential amino acid, but the other one complements it. So then you get both of them. It's just going to be a blend, because you obviously don't need all 9 essential amino acids in just one source. You just need to make sure that you're getting all 9 of them in your diet somewhere. And that's why whey protein is going to be so popular, because when it comes to protein powders, whey protein is already going to be a complete protein by itself. Now, if you do want to go with a plant-based protein powder, there are options. You can do something like soy protein or even pea protein, which is considered a complete protein source. So there are options. Now, if you're looking for something that's going to be lower in calories, plant-based protein powders tend to be higher in calories because they have more carbs than something like a whey protein. So keep that in mind. Now, another difference when it comes to whey protein powders and plant-based protein powders is going to be the flavor profiles and the texture. Now, for me, I choose a whey protein powder because whey to me is going to be a little softer and it has other flavors that I like, whether you're going for vanilla or a chocolate or caramel or something like that. Now, plant-based protein powders, on the other hand, are going to be a little bit different. They're going to be a little bit more granular or a little grainy, and they're going to have more earth-like characteristics if you're looking for a flavor profile. Now, obviously, you can get different blends of a plant-based protein powder that's going to offer different flavors and different textures, but to my knowledge, it's not seen as often. But if you're looking for something that's going to be a little bit more natural and less additives to the powder, unless you're getting the whey protein isolate, which is 90% pure protein powder, then a plant-based protein powder is definitely going to be more natural. So just like I said in the beginning, there's going to be strengths and there's going to be weaknesses to both of these protein powders. Now, many people are also going to say that plant-based protein powders are going to have more healthy benefits to them because they're also going to have things like fibers and antioxidants and things like that, and I would actually agree with them. But in this video, we're just talking about protein intake, so just protein, and whey protein, especially if you're getting the isolate, is basically just pure protein, or at least it should be. So the bottom line really is, when you're looking for protein powders, it's best to look at your own goals and your own lifestyle. Whey protein powder is going to be great for putting on lean muscle mass, and it's a lot easier to get all the essential amino acids that your body needs to not only build but also repair your muscle. And even though you can get all the amino acids that you need with a plant-based protein powder, sometimes you need to be a little bit more creative with the foods or the protein powders that you choose to get all the amino acids that you need. And then plant-based protein powders, on the other hand, are going to be more nutrient dense. So they're going to have more fibers and more antioxidants, and they're also going to be better for the environment if that's something that you prefer. So in the end, it's going to come down to you. What are your goals and what are your preferences? I wouldn't recommend listening to any of the buzz where they're talking about plant-based is better than whey and whey is better than plant-based, because we are all different. We all have different needs, and both of these protein powders are going to have their healthy benefits. And remember, it's better to get the majority of your protein intake for the day from whole foods, whether that's from fish or meat or steak or eggs or nuts or beans or anything like that. And then if you can't get all of the protein that you need from whole foods, then you can supplement with some kind of protein powder. around your workouts or whatever you need to do. All right, guys, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found any value in this video, please share it with your friends. Please give it a like so YouTube will share it with other people. I do appreciate your support. Consider subscribing to the channel if you want more content like this on exercise and on nutrition every single week. And I will see you guys on the next video.